But let's welcome Bhavin Shah, founder, CIO, and CEO at Sameeksha Capital, who joins us on the show. Hi, Bhavin. First of all, festive greetings from all of us here at CNBC-TV18 to you, your family, and the entire team as well. It's been a while since we spoke, but good to have you on the show. Well, all right, Bhavin, we want to understand your reading of the tech space. There's an equally bullish and bearish argument as well. Now, post the results, the kind of feedback you get is maybe the downside is limited. The problem is the upside as well. I mean, there's nothing really to go in there, rush in there and buy the stocks. Which side of the fence are you on? And what is your reading of the recent results?
So I think, as you said, the expectations have been reset to far lower levels, both in terms of profitability and more important in terms of growth. And I think against that, the results are coming in as sort of expected. And I would say that, on the margin, slightly better. I would say, there has been some slight improvement in guidance as well, and so on. And I think I would say is that, yes, there is that big deflationary impact of Gen AI boosting significantly the productivity, and as a result, the effort required is going down for the same activity. But I think overall, as time goes, there will be more things to do, and also, the whole H1 visa curbs and on a higher cost, will only help with the offshore. So I would say that for an investor who is not expecting, huge returns but pretty safe, say 10 to 12% returns, the opportunities may be starting to emerge in the sector with respect to companies available at 5 to 6% free cash flow yield, probably delivering you sort of mid to high single digit, even closer to maybe high single digit cash flow growth in coming years. So I think it's not a bad place to be actually compared to where we were for last 6 months.
This is the most optimistic, Bhavin, I've heard you sound on the technology space. On the margin, things are improving. Perhaps the industry is heading towards a high single-digit kind of a growth rate. And coupled with the free cash flow yield, you could hope for a 10-12% kind of return. So what have you been buying?
Well, I think we in the large cap space, we have been buying Infosys. Which I feel is, has been a bit more consistent in terms of what they've been delivering. And I think, yes, the valuation is attractive and the order book is also reasonable. So don't have very high expectations, but as I say, something like 10 to 12% return. I think there can be space in the portfolio for something like that, especially when you look at the large cap space overall, where there isn't, too many names that give you much higher returns than that.
Okay. But on Infosys, since you've been buying it, are you a bit disappointed that the company didn't raise the upper end of the revenue guidance? Considering that the first half of the year, the company has shown good momentum. The execution's been strong. There is no change in the overall demand environment. I mean, you would have listened into the call. What was your read from that?
I would think one can be somewhat disappointed by that. But, at the same time, given there is fair bit of uncertainty still out there, I think, the US, related issues continue to pop up. Maybe they want to walk a cautious path in that regard. But I think, if there is a potential for slight upside surprise from that, that's one can live with that rather than having a number that later on gets revised down. That's how I would look at it.
Bhavin, hi, morning. Greetings to you on Dhanteras and Diwali. And how many Diwalis now, Bhavin, running Sameeksha?
10.
I used to, time flies, right?
Yes.
IT is the sole sort of, work that you used to do. And of course, now of course, your fund has done so well. So congratulations to you and your team for that as well. I think in the small cap space, I think, Bhavin, Sonata has been a name that you've owned for a while. You still own it?
No, we don't own it right now.
Okay.
We could revisit it. I mean, I think in the small cap space, we own Mastech.
Okay.
Stock hasn't done well recently, but I think we think that there is, the top leadership of the company is is where we feel, they will deliver the goods. And I think the opportunity to deliver growth in small cap continues to be reasonably good. And so that's where we are, and then we also have other opportunity. I mean, we look at other names related to IT. Reddington is one that we have owned for a while, and we continue to like the prospects for that kind of business.
Okay, Mastic, Reddington. Just a slightly philosophical question, but since it's 9:10, 5 minutes to market open, maybe a brief response to this, and we can chat about this later. As a veteran IT analyst who watched these companies from their infancy, what would you tell them in terms of what can they, so one of the companies disclosed there was AI revenues recently. But the point is, unless this is taking away growth from somewhere else and overall growth remains the same, I mean, will that really matter in that sense? In terms of their communication or actually even what they should do here in this new environment, what would you tell them, Bhavin?
So, my observation is that, and this is the same thing that happened when the whole cloud and the platform solution revolution came about, that we saw Accenture a fair bit ahead compared to the leaders in the Indian IT space. And I think the same thing is repeating, where we can see that Accenture had a reasonably strong commentary given the circumstances, and also the investments in the, in retooling, retraining their engineers for AI has been a bit ahead of the Indian IT companies. So I think that continues to be that, that Indian IT companies tend to be quick followers. I mean, I think in a way it is okay because the customer relationships are very sticky, and so you don't lose customers just because you are not the leading edge. But I think maybe some more investments in understanding the next big trend and investing a little bit ahead of time. I'm not saying go and invest in, say, the product opportunities and so on and so forth, if that's not sort of the core DNA, but at least grabbing the new technology shifts a bit early and having the right set of people for that, I think that is important. And I think maybe that's where they will have to work on in the future.
Okay, Bhavin, we'll leave it there, but we'll have you back for a longer chat. Good luck to you as you continue to execute well with Sameeksha. Thanks very much for joining us on IT Services right now.